Hi everyone, this is Robin. I am now 75 months on T and 10 months post-op. I will make two videos. The second one will be about the scars and the chest. This one is going to be about some changes and basically about the bottom surgery. Some of you have asked me what happened and how it went, um, but I canceled it. The reason why I canceled it was a month before I was supposed to have the surgery. I went to the surgeon, and um, the time before that, he said that he would check the thickness of my skin and the fat uh, that is in my leg to determine if it was possible to have it taken out of um, my leg, meaning the penis. Um, so I came in and he basically said, "Oh, so did you go to about that city to that hospital to have it checked?" And I was like, "No, you said that I had to come back to see you." He's like, "Oh no, you have to go to that hospital because they specialize in checking that." Did nobody tell you? I said, "Nope, nobody told me." So he said, "Oh, I'll have a look at it now, but you still need to go." And so he checked and he kind of squeezed my skin and pinched my skin. And he said, "Well, you have a fat layer, so you will have a very thick penis if we take it out of the leg." Which was, I don't know, I was thinking, okay, is that going to be good or not? And then I actually had to make him look at my chest because he was not planning to. And he had said the time before that he would fill it up. And so I asked him, what are you planning to fill it up with? And he said, oh, basically with fat. I said, well, is that going to have a smooth outcome? Is that going to look good? And he said, well, I can't guarantee that that would be the case. So I had some concerns about that because I told him, well, if there's going to be fat in it, then basically it's not a muscle, and if I work out, it won't, be the firm, muscled chest. And so he said, "Oh, I'll have a closer look," which is the first time in all these months that he actually had a close look at it, and he pinched my skin, and he said, "Well, actually, you have some excessive skin, and I need to take some skin out, um, and maybe, put the nipples more higher," which to me was kind of admitting that something went wrong, but not in so many words. And then he said, "Well, I can't do it together because normally they do the phalloplasty together with the revision, or vice versa." He said I have to do that separately because it's going to take a long time to fix that. And I thought, oh God, then I have to, go to the hospital again and pay for the bill again. But oh well. And then I sat down and he said, oh, by the way, if we take the skin out of your leg, it's going to cost you 2,000 euros more, which is, I don't know, $2,400, I think. And that was kind of a surprise because I have been telling him that I wanted it taken out of the leg from the start, and he had never mentioned it before. So I was a little bit puzzled by that, and so he said, "Oh, now you have to take it up with my assistant who takes care of the administration." So I went to see this guy, and he said, "Oh, you haven't made the decision," and I said, "Well, I didn't know it was going to cost me 2,000 euros more." And he's like, "Oh yeah, well yeah, if you take it out of the arm, it's going to cost you 2,000 euros less." But to me, take it out of the arm is still an issue because people do look at it and ask questions, and I don't want to keep telling a lie basically because most transgender guys say that they have been burned by oil or something, and some new skin was fitted in. So, but you have to say that to every person that has a question about it, which is inevitable. You know, this is the curiosity of people. Um, so you can't blame them. So anyway, he said, "Oh well, maybe you should think about it some more before you decide. Let me know in 2 weeks." And then I mentioned to him, I said, "Oh, what about the revision of the chest?" Because the doctor, I had asked him, "Is that included?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And I had asked him a few times before to make sure, and this guy says, "Oh no, it's not included." And I'm like, "Well, the doctor says it is," and he's like, "No, it's not." I said, "Well, I know some transgender guys who had a revision, and it was included in the price that you pay for the surgery." And he's like, "Oh, that's not possible." He said, "No, I'm not saying you're lying." And I'm like, "What are you saying, dude?" That's basically what you're saying. Um, and so I was a bit upset. And he's like, "Oh, you have to pay a small amount extra." I said to him, "So what is that small amount?" And he said, "Oh, around 1,300 euros, which is, I don't know, 1,600 euros plus the costs of um, the hospital." So all of a sudden, this was going to cost me around 3,000, let's say 500 euros more uh, than they initially said it was going to cost. And this a month before the surgery. So I was really upset, and I was actually angry because I told him, I said, "Look, uh, the chest was not done properly, so I don't see why I should have to pay for the revision." But he was really strong-headed, and he said, "Well, that's the way it is." Um, and I started crying. I just burst out in tears because, when you start the whole process, it is important to have all the information, meaning how long this is going to last, how long you have to wait until you can take testosterone, the surgery, and obviously how much it's going to cost. You need to know that beforehand. And so I went home, and I was so upset, and I told my girlfriend, I said, "I'm not going to do it, not before I have it in writing how much this is going to cost." Because let's just say that I have the phalloplasty, and uh, most of the time, like 90%, a revision needs to be done when you have the phalloplasty, when you have the bottom surgery. So basically, if I have that and there are revisions, does that mean that I have to pay extra as well? And once you've done it, you can't not say, "Oh, well, if it's going to cost me another $3,000, I don't need the revision." It's like you have no option. It's the only hospital in Belgium that does it. So I, they call themselves a specialized team, and they are the best in Belgium, and they are known abroad. But I just do not understand how this information can be such a contradiction. So I had actually written a email after that to the psychiatrist saying what happened, and he kind of wrote back saying, "I don't really know what to do with this." And I'm like, "Well, if you don't know, then how am I supposed to know?" And he said he would mention it in the next meeting. I hadn't heard from him anymore. So the next time I had to go to the endocrinologist to have a checkup. And I told him the story. He's a really nice guy. I'm not saying that they're bad people, or they mean bad, but I'm just saying there's just a conflict in the information they give you and what is real. And so he actually said to me, "Well, maybe you should write a surgeon a mail and tell him how you feel." which I was like, okay, that's quite hard to do, to say a surgeon that you think he did a wrong thing and all that. So it took me a while, but I actually did send him a mail saying what I think went wrong with the chest, about the conflicts of information with his assistant, and how he did not mention that the leg was going to cost me more, and that we need some uh, correct information in order to go through this process. So I hadn't heard from him in 1 week, 2 weeks, and I was like, oh God, did he read it? Did he not read it? But eventually, I did get a mail back, and it was actually quite positive. He did not mention anything about the chest because I think he didn't want to put that in writing. But he did appreciate my honesty, and he did say that he tends to not take a lot of time um, when you go and see him, because he has to see so many people and he prefers to see more people than to spend a lot of time. But still, it is important. um, the surgery is really a big chunk out of the process, and I always felt, like rushed, and he only gave you 10 minutes. He didn't have the time and the space to ask all the questions, and he would just say, oh, ask me next time, and then next time he would say, oh, ask me next time. So you didn't really feel comfortable with him, and I think you should try to do your best to put your patients at ease, especially because this is really mentally and physically a very difficult process. So yeah, and he did say that he regrets that I got contradictional information, and that he would check with his assistant what is going on, and if I'm ready and when I'm ready, that I should go and see him. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on. I haven't made an appointment. I don't know when, because I have been feeling down lately. So now I kind of think, why bother? So yeah, I'm in that place right now. Also because still, when I go to the store, um, I there was these girls in the store who gave out flyers, and they go like, here you are, man. And I'm like, oh fuck. And then another one, uh, I went to the store to buy something, and she's like, oh, can you pass me that ticket, ma'am? uh, so I was like, oh, and I thought, God, I'm more than 1 year on testosterone, and this is still going on. It's not always the voice, because to those girls I didn't even speak. So but the voice is not low enough either. But it's also the looks. I still look too feminine. I haven't been working out. I'm just too damn lazy. um, so I hope that I find the strength to do something about it, and um, I don't know what will happen with the surgeon. I'm thinking of writing him another email, and hopefully there will be a solution. So yeah. Oh, and I have been getting some more facial hair. So I've been shaving, which, by the way, when I shave here, it's sometimes quite painful. I didn't expect it to like. Um, so yeah, but it's still blonde. So there's some darker hairs here and there, but it's still not enough to think that I'm a man. So basically, yeah, I see my time is almost up, so I'm gonna finish. I'll be giving you an update. So to everybody, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2013. Ciao.